tune in right now. Again, share and like with your friends and loved ones, because we have our favorite account on the line, GenRoy Richards. And he is going to share with us just some information as to what we need to know as entrepreneurs, small business owners, to keep our businesses alive and legal. So without further ado, GenRoy, thank you for coming back on the program. Tell us again, tell the folks a little bit about yourself, and then you can just like give us some information. We'll start having this conversation.
Sure. Thanks, Philip. It's an honor again to be back here today. Before we proceed any further, a little background on myself. I'm a CPA since 1993. I've been in the business for over 30 years now as an accountant. Worked as an auditor for a major CPA firm. Worked as a controller and vice president for private firms. And for the past 15 years, I have been operating my own practice, which we in this practice, we service the needs of our clients. We do, of course, income taxes, individual and person and corporate. We do accounting and bookkeeping for businesses, large and small. We perform audits, reviews, compilations for companies that need it. We try to meet the needs of the business community. In any way, businesses that if someone needs to start a business, we incorporate them. We can do that. If they need to close the business, we also proceed to do the work of closing them, and so forth.
Right.
We try to be a full service company to meet the needs of our clients in every way that we can. And of course, as a small growing company, I am small, so it fits the topic today.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to partner with other companies, so when the need arises, if we have a large project and we need help, we partner with others to work it out. So
yes.
On and all, it's good.
Yes.
Business we're in, and very happy to be here and to be able to give a little insight on the matter today.
Yes, and we really appreciate that. We really appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us. So tell me, like, for the person that's looking to start a small business, what are some of the things they need to know from an accountant's perspective?
Okay, well, first of all, before we can go there, sometimes we need to know who we are. So we need to define what a small business is.
Okay, go ahead.
So we need to be able to have a proper idea.
Absolutely.
This is a huge country, and there are thousands or millions of businesses. So what category or what do you fall in? Is something is important to know that.
Right.
As we did for this the not-for-profit and the non-profits yesterday, we must know that for most small businesses are for profits.
Yes.
The business of making a profit, and that is that aim is earned through its operations, and of course they're interested in growing. Is unlike the not-for-profit and the non-profit. The aim is not for the benefit of others or for a group of people, but it's for me. Okay, it's my business, or we're a part of our business. So our aim is our self-interest that we are looking after here. So the purpose of this business is for us to live, to make a profit, and to grow the business.
Okay.
And so there are several types of organizations, for-profit organizations. They're classified as sole proprietorship.
Okay.
Partnerships and corporations. These are two types of businesses there are. And within these three forms of businesses, there are several other subtypes of businesses. Okay. We're not going to get into them. Okay. Let's do that.
Yes.
A corporation, for example, if a profit corporation is what is called is a C-type corporation. Then you have now they have what's called a B-type. And,
oh, really?
And the S corp. You know, these are
Right.
incorporated. Then you have partnerships. You know, partnerships could be two members, or it could be thousands of members.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you have sole proprietorship, which is really one person. Now, all three of these type of businesses, with their designation of sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporations, they can also be classified as LLCs.
Got you.
Now,
all three can be categorized as LLCs?
Absolutely. If they apply for LLC status, that's correct. Now, within these types of organizations, there are those that are large, medium, and small. All right? And of course, our focus today is on small businesses. So we'll focus on the small type of business. Now, what's a small business? What do we consider a small business? Now, a small business is a privately owned company in the legal form of a corporation, a partnership, or a sole proprietorship.
Okay.
Now, a business size is determined based upon the industry it operates. Okay. So whether you're large, small, or medium depends on the industry you're operating. Okay. So it depends on the industry. It depends on your annual revenue and the number of employees. Okay. A good example. In finance and insurance, a small company would be considered a company with that makes between $7.5 million and $38.5 million, and they have between 250 to 1,500 employees. That would be considered a small business in the finance and insurance industry.
Right.
You know, whereas in a professional, scientific, and technical industry, the profit you will between 7.5 again and 38, but you have between 150 and 1,500 employees. So it varies. Okay.
Right.
It varies. So again, your size for you to be considered large or small or medium, it depends on the industry you're in, your annual revenue, and the number of employees.
Okay.
Now, according to the SBA, the Small Business Administration, it defines a small business as one that typically makes a maximum of between $750,000 to $38.5 million. So the SBA,
how much?
$750,000 to $38.5 million.
That's considered a small business.
Yes, for the SBA.
Okay.
And it has employees of between 100 and 1,500. Okay.
Got it.
Again, depending on the industry. Now, we must understand that small business are the majority of businesses in the United States. We may not hear of them. We will hear of great big businesses, but the majority of businesses in the U.S. are small businesses. Okay, small businesses, and you know that is. So the point here being is that people might look at you as small, but don't underestimate yourself, because small businesses employ millions of people in the United States.
Got you. Got you.
All right.
Yes.
Now, to determine the size of a business.
So, wait. One question: Can you franchise a small business?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go back to Golden Cross.
Oh yes.
They're a franchise.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
But how early did they start off to be a franchise?
They started out, I would say, about 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
You know, remember they started with one store in the Bronx. Right. Okay. They started with one store in the Bronx, and look at them now. They're not all over, but they're plentiful in New York City, in New York State, in Florida, and other places. You see. Right. I know a couple of people who have franchises with Golden Cross. You know.
Okay, got you.
So again, being small is not a crime or a curse. It's the beginning of great things.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Very good.
Most companies start small.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the only way to start, isn't it?
Exactly. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so to determine the size of a business, the SBA, what they did is they established a table of small businesses by the size standards, and it uses the North American classification system, which is called NAICS, you know, the NAICS.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It uses that as a basis for its size standards. And the NAICS classifies businesses depending on their economic sector and industries. That's what the classified businesses.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Again, you could have a construction company that does business, and this is just my taking now in a 5, 10, $15 million, but then you have others that do in the billions. So a 10, $15 million construction company, which is a sizable company, is considered small compared to a big conglomerate that does, you know, construction in the billions of dollars.
Right, right.
So the NAICS, they classify businesses depending on the economic sectors and the industries in which they operate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's important to know. Okay, it's important to know because as a small business owner, okay, you need to know where you fall so you can properly know how to operate.
Got it.
Okay. Now, who are small business owners?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who are these people that are you know, operating these small businesses?
Right.
Well, they're operated by men and women from all walks of life.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to be a rich person to start a business. As a matter of fact, when I started my business, I was at the lowest point of my life because I had just gotten fired. Okay, I just gotten fired, and I decided I was not going to work for anybody else again. So
wow.
Best place for me to start was when I was down because the only way I was up. And here I am.
That's the story. Yeah.
Later,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Yes. Yes.
So I always say if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yes. Yes.
Now, according to the census, men own approximately 51.3% of small businesses, whereas women own approximately 28.7%. Okay, and 3% are publicly owned small businesses, and about 17% are owned by partnerships, men and women, you know, or you know, by more than one person partnerships. 17%. That's how it is broken down by the census. Now, it is also said that women are more likely to own special service businesses, whereas men are more prone to own product or technology-based businesses.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So there are advantages to owning a small business. Of course, there are advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
Let's focus on the advantages. Okay. So officially being qualified as a small business, it gives you the advantage is that there are opportunities that are available only or unique for a unique type of business, this type of business, small businesses.
Yes.
Right, opportunities that are available only to small businesses. For example, SBA loans, small business administrations. Okay, these loans are available only to small businesses. And again, don't look at your size and determine whether you're big or small. Go according to the classification of the SBA.
Right.
But if you lean on your own understanding, you could be hurting yourself.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
So there are the SBA loans are available only to small businesses, and one of the best ways for small businesses to finance their operations.
Wow.
Okay. Why? Because the SBA typically offer flexible terms and lower interest rates.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Now, again, it's important for us to do our homework if we're going to go for an SBA loan because there are several types of loans within the SBA program. Okay. And to qualify, your company must meet the small business standards as defined by the SBA. So, if you are going to look into SBA financing, you must do your homework and find out which loan
would fit you
will qualify for. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
What if you're like a one-man show? Like you have a ton of those now because if you're doing business for yourself, you usually start out on your own. What about that person that that is starting out on their own?
Well, that I mean, you are a viable business. There are many businesses that are a one man show.
Mhm.
For years, I was a one man show.
Okay, yeah,
For years, I was a one man show. Again, you start from where you can, and as time goes by, and as you become more involved in the business, you become more profitable, and you're able to hire people, and that's how you begin to grow. It's a
no, I
process.
mean, let me be more specific with my question. Like,
Okay.
if you're a one-man show and you wanted to get an SBA loan, right? Is there a certain type of loan that is for that type of person in their business?
Well, that's why I said it's important to do your homework, because again,
Got you.
the SBA is the SBA stands for Small Business Small Business Loan Association Agency
Hmm.
loan. Okay,
Yes,
and so uh, it behooves you to look into this to
right.
see what is available for a one man operation. I'm sure
Got you.
there
Got
are,
you.
but
Right.
there are certain criteria that have to be met. So you will have to look into it to see
What?
where you fit in
Yeah,
there.
got you. I got you. Understand. Understand.
Well, also there are governmental opportunities
Hmm.
that are designed specifically for small businesses. In New York, you have what is called the MBE or the MWBE. And I'm speaking of New York because I'm a New Yorker and my business is in New York. Um,
Hmm.
I'm looking to other states about MWBE, but MBE stands for Minority Business Enterprises,
Hmm.
and MWBE Minority and Women Business Enterprise.
Ah, got you.
Okay, and these these um these are specifically intended for small business. For small business,
Right.
there are set asides. Okay, there are set asides for small businesses that the government has allotted so that they can grow.
Got it. Got it.
For example, I am registered as an MWBE with the state of New York, and
Hmm.
so my firm is registered with the controller's office, New York City
Okay.
controller's office, and with other city agencies.
Hmm.
So whenever any jobs come out that pertain to my industry, because I'm a small corporation,
Business.
I
Right.
email from them alerting me of the opportunity. Of course,
Got you.
you got to bid on it. It doesn't drop in your lap automatically. You have to bid on it, and you know,
Right.
hopefully you'll get it. But
Got it.
opportunities available for small businesses out there, and you know, if we don't search and seek out, we will not know.
Right. These are there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about like for minorities? I know that there's some things out there for minorities too, right?
Well, the MWBE, Minority Business and Women Business Enterprises.
Oh, that's okay. All right. There you go.
Yes.
And they have like government contracted jobs, or is
Yeah.
that what?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, construction, electrical work, all sort of things. I mean, when you get the um the email from the city, you see jobs out there for many different industries.
Wow.
You know.
That is awesome. That's great information. That is great information. By the way, before I forget, I would love to thank our sponsor that's allowing us to run these programs, uh, Tom Estes, who is with Allstate. Uh, Anyone who's watching, you see the banner up on the screen. Please support our sponsors as they allow us to be able to have these programming. So, what would be some of the advice that you would give as far as accounting goes? Like if I'm just starting my business, and even if it's just like a storefront business, let's say it's a restaurant,
Okay.
right? And because I know, and as accountants, you guys need specifics.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So
Well, pretty much the same advice as I gave for the small, for not-for-profit and non-profit. A business, there are certain things that a business must have in order for
right,
it to remain viable. competitive and alive. Okay. Again, record keeping. Okay,
Right.
they have to be able to have records. Okay, what are records? Records are a written account of the proceedings of an organization. Information that or statistics gathered over a period of time. So it's important for a small business, especially a small business. Oftentimes we would think that because we're small. Let me give you an example. I do a lot of small businesses, and oftentimes they come to me once they've been in business a year or two before. And when we sit down and we talk and I ask certain questions, a lot of things were not done.
Got it.
Okay. And so we begin the process and I have to go back and do what needed to be done from the beginning.
Right. So, I mean, what are some of the things you've experienced that young entrepreneurs make? Like when they start their business, what are some of the things you've run into?
I've run into incidences where, okay, they're in business, but the records they have not kept, they either discarded or lost records. So in order to go back and start, and because every dollar you spend to start a business is a cost that must be accumulated, quantified, and put on the books of the business, whether to be expensed or to be depreciated or amortized. All right. So this cost determine the value of your business. So a lot of them don't have the information, so you have to go back now and a lot of times estimate. And I mean, nothing wrong with estimating, but it's better to have the facts.
Right.
You know. So
for auditing purposes, right?
Not only that, but for tax purposes.
Okay.
And again, for valuation purposes. 5 years, 10 years from now, your business is doing good and someone wants to buy your business. How do you value your business? What data do you have to value your business?
Got it.
You see?
Got it.
So it's important to keep records. That's one. Secondly, taxes. They're in business and 2, 3, 4 years and they're not paid taxes. And then you come to do the business and you're in business for 4 years. Once you file your taxes, say for 1 year, the government might want to know what happened to the other years.
Got you.
So it's important. Record keeping, I cannot overemphasize how important it is to keep accurate records of the business. Accurate records, very important.
Okay.
This could be the difference between you remaining open or being
closing.
Closed.
Yeah.
This could be the difference between you being or not being audited by the Internal Revenue Service. This could be the difference between you knowing whether you're making a profit or not. Oftentimes, again, if you come to me 2 years down the line, you don't know if you're making a profit or not. Yeah, you see, there are different. People often confuse income
with making a profit.
With liquidity.
Yeah.
Or cash flow. You're doing a business, and yes, the cash is coming in. So you see the cash coming in, and you think that you're doing good. But if you don't have anything to compare it to, how do you know that?
Right.
You see, how much are you spending? That is why it doesn't matter how small you are. It's important to operate from the standpoint of a budget. A budget is a guide for every organization to know where they are or where they're going. Are they profitable or not? So a budget is key for every business. Records help you also, again, to prepare financial statements to determine whether you made a profit or not in a business. When you're filing your taxes, these records that you have are the information that you put on your corporate taxes or your partnership taxes or your 1040 Schedule C. You see? So records are key to every organization.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. That is awesome. What's the second thing you'd say you've run into?
I've run into companies. Let's say you mentioned a restaurant earlier.
Hmm.
Let's take a restaurant earlier, or any business who's when they sell, they collect taxes.
Got you.
Okay, I've run into situations where these companies uh, use the tax money as their own money, and that's wrong.
Wow.
The taxes that business collects does not belong to the business; it belongs to the state. Sales tax, for example,
Hmm.
that when you buy something and they charge the sales tax,
Yes.
money doesn't belong to the business; it belongs to the state. The business is the agent of the state to collect those taxes and remit it to the state. Oftentimes, again, because of poor management skills, poor planning, poor accounting skills, I've noticed and I've seen it over and over where companies getting problems with the state because they use that money for themselves, and then now
Wow.
they end up owing the state not only that money, but they end up owing them interest and penalties on
Right.
that money, and the state will shut you down for that because that money
Hmm.
doesn't belong to you.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
I have seen companies that have employees and they pay the employees, but they don't pay the payroll taxes that they're withholding from the employees. Same scenario. That money doesn't belong to the company. It belongs to the state or the federal government.
Wow.
And so that money, you are the agent of the state or the Fed or the feds
Mm.
to collect that money from the employees and to remit it to the appropriate
The
agencies.
state.
Now,
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
don't remit this money, then you're liable for these monies. And the state and the feds, they're not easily forgiven. They don't forgive easily for this because that money is not your money and you're using what is not yours. And so
Wow.
they charge you interest and charge you penalties for that. I've seen companies being shut down because they've not paid their payroll taxes or their sales taxes. I'm very good companies, lucrative companies
Wow.
I've seen because of poor managerial skills. And one of the things a lot of small businesses I've noticed is they don't they don't listen to their accountant until they're in trouble.
Right. Right.
You know, I mentioned to you that yesterday that any business that starts, they need to have four people in the corner. You remember I mentioned that to you?
Yes, I remember that. Yes, a
Okay.
lawyer, an accountant,
Uh-huh.
a banker, and insurance.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, in my estimation, the first person you should hire is an accountant
Yes.
because this is the way I put it. An accountant keeps you out of trouble. A
Right.
lawyer takes you out of trouble. Okay?
I love that. Wait, say that again. Say that again.
An accountant keeps you out of trouble. A
Right.
lawyer takes you out of
Out
trouble.
of trouble. Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
For him to take you out of trouble, you have to get into trouble.
Got you. Got you.
So
Yes. Yes.
the accountant is the first person you should hire because they're going to guide you in a proper way of keeping the records, what records to keep, and setting up the books from the outset so that
Yes.
you're capturing all costs of the business.
Hmm.
See?
Yes.
So it's important that one of the first things you need to hire is an accountant, a lawyer, also a banker, and an insurance company because these are people who are crucial to the success of your company from the outset.
Yes. Yes. I got it.
From the
Absolutely.
outset. And so these are things that I try to tell my clients from the beginning when they first come to me when they're first starting, or if they come to me after the fact. Can't do anything about it except try to help them from that point on. And so I try to let them know that they need to get these people in place.
Mm-hmm. So it's better for somebody to come to you while they're semi-healthy than they come to you while they're bleeding like a salve.
Absolutely.
And the damage is almost irreparable.
It can be repaired, but it's going to be painstaking. It's going to
Right.
take time, effort, and money.
Mm-hmm.
So you save yourself the headache.
Yeah.
If you do things the right way from the outset.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Again, we have on the line here GenRoy Richards, and he is available. He is a that a real accountant that you can talk to about your accounting needs. Again, you'll see his information on the screen. Reach out to him. Visit his website at Richards CPA NYC at NewYorkCity.com, or his email address. You see it right there on the screen. Feel free to reach out to him about your accounting needs. And before we close out, GlenRoy, please tell the folks out there what it is that is essential. I mean, you mentioned that several times throughout, but what is the most essential part of having an accountant in your hand, within your business?
Well, it's important because, first of all, it's going to give you a peace of mind. What do I mean by that? You are in the business of making money. If you are, for example, a builder, a contractor, your business is building houses. Your business is building. That's what you're good at.
Yes.
And you want to focus on what you're good at.
Yes.
So if you have to worry about paying taxes on time, worry about make sure your records are if you got to keep your records, pay taxes at the end of the year, do all of these things, you're going to detract or take away from the valuable time that you need to spend on growing your business.
Right, perfecting your business. Yeah.
Right, and no one man is a world unto himself. Mm-hmm. We need help from other directions. We need people with knowledge in other areas to help us get to where we want to get to.
Right, absolutely.
The reason why in the 1700s and so before, white men died at the age of 40 and around there. I think don't quote me on it, but I think the average lifetime was around in the 40s. Mm-hmm. Because they had to do everything. If they want to build a house, they had to go get the log, cut the tree down. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Cut up the log, bring it to the house, build it. Then they have to go plant the farm for the food for the family. And that's a lot of stress on the body.
Yes.
Yes. But here comes the industrial revolution now, where people are you're using other people to help you get to where you want to, and so life becomes a little easier now. You don't have to do everything. If I need a house, then rather than me building it, I can track a builder to build a house for me. If I need a car, rather than me building the car, I just go to the showroom and buy a car. You see?
Right.
So we are partners together in this. And the more people you have assisting you in your business is the more time you have to build your business, and the more time you have to enjoy your business.
Yes. That makes total sense. Do what you're good at, and let the accountant do what he's good at.
And let the lawyer do what he does, and let the banker do what he does, and so forth. So everybody had a part to play in growing your business and making your business successful. It's a partnership.
Right.
It's a partnership. So the accountant, his job is to make certain that all your records are in proper order. All your obligations, financial obligations, are met, are properly documented, and they are met, and so forth, so that you don't have to worry about that.
Got it. Yeah.
An example, I recently met. I just got me a new client, and one of the questions they asked me, how would I assist them in, for example, making certain that that the business remains viable, making certain that their employees are paid, and so forth. And I asked certain questions, and they answered my question. And the question was, we do all of this, but we're talking about in those crunch time, in terms of emergency, for example, if an employee his paycheck is less than it's supposed to be because of some error in computation and so forth, how do you can assist me and so forth? Well, like I mentioned to him, I was VP of finance for several corporations. So not only was I doing the books as an auditor, not doing, but looking at the books as an auditor,
Mm-hmm.
I was also overseeing the operations of an organization. And in a large organization where the largest one I had, we had over 400 employees.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, there were always employees whose time was short.
Yes.
How do you deal
Yes.
with that? So I had to let them know that the way we deal with that is we would issue manual checks
Mm-hmm.
and alert the payroll company of these manual checks so that they can update the records.
Right.
You see?
Right.
So that's one way. That's one way of assisting you in that you don't have to worry about, oh, did the employees get for example, at the end of the year, is their W-2 correct?
Mm-hmm.
They will include every payment that we pay to them. So this is one thing for you not to worry about, because the accountant is cognizant of that, and the accountant knows that when you pay somebody with a manual check, a payroll check, and you and you have a payroll company, you have to alert them of these manual checks, give them the information so that they can update the records.
Right. Right.
So the thing that the accountants do, okay, sales taxes, okay, we need to look at some companies have to pay the sales taxes on a monthly basis, others on a quarterly basis, depending on the amount of sales you have for the month. So whether the accountant is in charge of making certain that those sales tax forms are prepared, whether monthly or quarterly, notify the owner of the amount that they got to remit to the state.
Right. Right.
And so forth. And so that's what we do when it comes year end. We got to make sure that all the taxes that are done are paid up, make sure that everything is recorded in the books, and so forth. So the role of an accountant is crucial. No business can survive without an accountant.
Right. Right. How long you been in business? How long you been doing this?
I have been a CPA since 1993.
Wow.
I've been in accounting over 36 years. Wow. And I've been running my firm for 15 years, since 2005.
Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much, GenRoy. You know what? There was a question. I almost forgot it. When you're in the business of a realtor, because again, I want to kind of target those people that are probably working from home right now. And we did storefront, but we didn't cover, like, if you're a realtor and you have an income coming in like that, how does an accountant fall into that category?
Oh, definitely needed. Okay, I have clients that are realtors. Some have buildings, that they collect rent from. It's a business, so right. we do the accounting for them.
Okay.
We do the accounting for the corporation. We have real estate salespeople who work as independent salespeople for real estate firms. Mm-hmm. They're independent. They too are earning income. They have to pay their taxes. So we prepare their quarterly tax filings for them.
Yes.
We keep track of they are a business to themselves.
Yes.
Okay. So there's what is called a Schedule C that goes on the 1040 return. Mm-hmm. So we have to accumulate all the income that they earn from selling houses and from renting houses and so forth. We also have to accumulate and quantify the expenses that they incur.
Yes, got it.
So all of that goes on the Schedule C.
Travel and gas and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Your license, your seminars, this and that. Everything that is
training. Yes, that's right. They have to do training. Yes.
To generate business, your income.
Yes, got it.
So whether you're a independent real estate salesperson, a broker, or a business, you still need the services.
Yes. So, folks, those of you who are listening out there, we have GenRoy Richards on the line here, and he has shared some really valuable information. Those of you who are watching and friends who are in business, whether they have a storefront or they work from home, this information is for them. The way you can reach GenRoy is it is on the banner that is on the screen. So feel free to reach out to him. And don't forget to reach out to our sponsors, who we are really thankful for sponsoring these programs. But we have a few more programs coming up this week. Tomorrow, we'll be hearing again from Legal Shield and the services they provide. Very important information. You really want to tap into that. It's like having a lawyer in your phone. Very good software, up and coming software that we need everyone to hear about. And also, we're going to have Karen Mayo. She's going to come back tomorrow at 12 and talk about the roots of leadership. We want to know about that because a great leader always knows a way of encouraging and motivating their people. You need to have that on the inside of you. All right. So get that information. You need that information. And also at 1:30, we're going to have overcoming procrastination. That's for those of you who have been always thinking about having a business, but never really started. All right, that program is there to help you get started, so you can find your accountant to help you finance and manage your finances for your business. Yes, very important stuff. You don't want to miss it. And thank you all for watching again and sharing with your friends and loved ones. We will see you again on Friday. GlenRoy will be back on Friday. And so if you have any questions between now and then, send them to me. I'll make sure he hears and sees them, and post them in the chat. I check the comments every day. So post your questions and your comments in so that I can follow up with him for Friday. Take care, everyone, and stay encouraged. When you win,